Hi everyone, we're just having a little snuggle. Harry is putting Max to bed, so I thought I'd just quickly update you on how our second week is going basically. I don't know if I said in the last video, the last time I recorded, I think that was day 5, I think Rocco was 5 days old in that one. But his umbilical cord actually fell off on day 5. So yeah, on day 6 we actually did his first bath. So we actually put Max in the bath normally, and then we put Rocco's bath in the bath with him. Max was not pleased about it. I think he prefers that to be like his quiet time. So he was a bit like, what on earth is going on? Rocco cried through most of it. But yeah, I got some photos, and yeah, we took photos obviously of Max's first bath and things like that. It was just like nice little memories for us, really. So yeah, I must say that the after pains on day 6 were still pretty horrendous. I find it really hard to prioritise myself and my physical health and my mental health sometimes. I always put obviously Max first normally, but the boys first, since Rocco's come along as well. So they've been coming first, and I always put Harry second, and I always put myself last. But trying to stay on top of like paracetamol and ibuprofen and staying hydrated and whatever, that's been like, I always find that really, really difficult anyway. Oh, you're snoring. So yeah, I find that difficult anyway, but it's been nice because obviously Harry's been home and he's been trying to stay on top of like me eating and drinking and medication and things like that. So that's been nice to have someone to look after me as well. So yeah, Monday we did his first bath, as I said, and that was really, really nice. After pains were still really horrendous. And I wasn't great at staying on top of the medication. It was more Harry telling me like, right, you need to take this and whatever. So yeah, that was a bit all over the place. I think on day 6 as well, I did like an Instagram story, just like talking about how I'm feeling, and I'd had quite a hard day, like emotionally. I had a lot of mum guilt with Max. I was just very emotional, just like crying on and off pretty much all day. I kept looking at Rocco and just being like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe I actually created another baby. And he's just so perfect as well, just like Max. So it's just like, wow. Obviously I was sore and tender, my cramping was bad. And I think one of the main things that kind of set me off, especially in the evenings, like Harry's been putting Max to bed for a little while, and it honestly breaks my heart. I said this in my Instagram story, but it breaks my heart so much just because like I've always done it, like fed him to sleep. I started crying to Harry on day 6, like in the evening after we put him to bed. I said to him, like, I just miss Max, like I miss the time that me and Max used to have together, just us two. So yeah, and I hadn't had a shower, and I don't know, it was just a bit all over the place, and I was very, very hormonal. So yeah, there was that as well. And I had one of my neighbours knock, and Harry answered the door, so I didn't get to see her, but I texted her. But she gave us a like big gift bag, and she bought me a new night dress and some goodies and chocolates and things like that. And yeah, that was a really nice little sort of pick me up during the day as well, so that was really lovely. Then on day 7 we had Rocco's hearing test, so I had arranged for my mum and dad to come and look after Max and spend time with Max. Obviously you've got to be quiet in the hearing test, so I was like, how on earth we can do that? And me and Harry both wanted to be there for Rocco, same as we were for Max. So my mum and dad came in the morning, and honestly when my mum got here I just burst into tears again. She was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I just have so much mum guilt for Max. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people say that they have mum guilt for their newborn. At this point I didn't. It wasn't for Rocco because I felt like I was spending quite a lot of time with Rocco. It was just for Max, and I just felt like his behaviour started to change so much already, and I could see he was craving mine and Harry's attention as well. So I had actually planned to spend some one-on-one time with him after the appointment. So my mum and dad came, they looked after Max, and then me and Harry took Rocco to the hearing test. His hearing test came back absolutely fine. They said like it's all like within the normal ranges and everything. So that was really positive. And then we came back and I said to my mum, would you mind just staying for a little bit longer so that me and Harry can have a shower? Because we both hadn't had showers the day before and we were just like desperate for a shower. And Harry's hair gets really long. I cut Harry's hair. I learnt to cut his hair years ago. So I was like, Harry needs a haircut as well. So I was like, I might as well cut his hair while you're here because I cannot cut his hair with both of the boys. So my mum was like, it's absolutely fine. She was like, go up, have your showers, do what you need to do. And then yeah, we came back down and my mum and dad left. And Harry actually had to go to his brother's and pick something up. So I was just with the boys by myself, but they actually both fell asleep. They both fell asleep on the boob, and then we were just laying on the sofa until Harry got back. So yeah, that was day 7. Then on day 8, we registered Rocco. So you are official now, aren't you? Yeah, we just took him to our local library and registered his birth. And then I actually went to the GP and registered him at our GP as well. I remember with Max actually needed antibiotics and eye drops and he was only a few days old and he wasn't registered at the GP. So, I mean, obviously they still saw us, but I had to register him kind of after his appointment, which was really strange. So I just said to Harry, while we've registered Rocco, we'll just go straight to the GP and register him in case, you know, God forbid he needs to be seen by a doctor. So yeah, we did that on day 8. So yeah, I can't believe he's actually official now. It's crazy. You're a whole little person, eh? So cute. On day 8 as well, I actually did bedtime, like the bedtime routine with both boys by myself. Now, normally, I mean, I wouldn't have said for Harry to leave, but we've been obsessed with Too Good To Go bags recently. Obviously, while Harry's home, it means that he can go out at, you know, silly times and whatever and grab bags and stuff while he's been at home with us. So he was like, shall I go? And I was like, I don't mind. And he was like, I can stay if you want me to, like, if you'd prefer not to do this right now. And I was like, do you know what, just go, because like you might get some good stuff. We are obsessed with Too Good To Go at the moment, even though they've not all been great, to be honest. But I think it's just, I don't know, the surprise of what you're actually going to get in the bag. I can't even remember what bag it was, to be honest. We've done so many in the last week. But yeah, he left and I took both the boys up. And if I'm being honest, it was just pure chaos. I was so overstimulated and like overwhelmed. Obviously I had to wash Max, brush his teeth, change his bum and get him into his pyjamas and everything. And Rocco basically screamed the entire time that I was like washing Max and stuff, because I can't wash Max with one hand. I need both hands because he's such a regular. So he'll start running off and everything. So I had to put Rocco down in his next to me and quickly wash Max as fast as I could. And he was screaming. And then I picked him up and then literally straight after he pooed. So then I had to change his bum. So he was screaming even more. Then I put him on the boob and he went to sleep, luckily. And then I got into Max's bed with Rocco on one boob and then Max wanted the other one for him to go to sleep. I did manage to get them both to sleep, but oh my gosh, I was so like tired and like overstimulated by the end of it. So yeah, that was bedtime routine by myself for the first time on day 8. So I was quite proud of myself for that. Obviously I said like before my milk has come in, which is great, apart from the engorgement, but the engorgement's not too bad because Max will literally just drain the boob. But I'm still getting so much pain breastfeeding, and I don't know if I mentioned this in like the last time that I filmed, but Rocco actually has a really bad tongue tie, which the midwife said could be contributing to the pain. So yeah, we had all of that as well. But yeah, breastfeeding 2 of them, it's hard work trying to find a position that works as well, because Max only really feeds laying down pretty much just to sleep. So yeah, that was quite hard on day 8, trying to get them both to sleep, sort of laying like on my side with Rocco on the top boob and Max on the other one. So it was just a bit all over the place. Then on Thursday I had my sister Rochelle and my other sister Rosie, Rochelle's partner, and my nephew, they all came round to see Rocco. And obviously Rosh was she met Rocco the first day, because obviously she was looking after Max for us, so she had already met him, but obviously my other sister hadn't met him and her partner, and obviously Kyson, my nephew, hadn't met Rocco yet. So yeah, they came round on Thursday and spent a few hours here with us, just having cuddles. Yeah, I mean, my sisters stayed for a little bit, and then they went home, and we had like lasagna, and yeah, just ended up getting into bed. Then, honestly, I can't really remember how the nights have been going at this point. They all blur into one, honestly. But Friday, we actually had Rocco's tongue tie appointment. So my midwife actually referred us, literally the day after he was born, when she came to visit us. She noticed the tongue tie straight away, and she said, "Oh, I'll do the referral." And she actually said they might not do it. Like, it really depends on the circumstances, and how bad they think it is and stuff. So we was kind of like, oh, okay, but yeah, we went to the appointment. The tongue tie practitioner that we saw, she said that his tongue was actually 100% tied. So it was very, very restricted, and one of the worst ones she had seen. She actually had a leaflet, and it had like pictures of like different, like, I suppose like the severity of tongue ties, and she showed us the worst one, and she said that Rocco's was actually worse than that. So yeah, obviously we had Max with us, so I sat with Max in one room, and they took Rocco into the other room, and she showed Harry how to do like the mouth exercises, because he needs exercises for his tongue as well to stretch. And Harry stayed with him while he had the tongue tie cut. It literally took a couple of seconds to cut it, but Harry said that she cut it one time and there was still more of the tie that she needed to get. She was like, no, I need to cut it again. So she actually had to cut it a second time, and he was screaming, bless him. I was trying to like obviously occupy Max in the other room, and then they brought Rocco straight to me because they wanted him to feed straight after. And I mean, it didn't bleed a lot. I saw a little bit of blood, but it didn't bleed a lot. And I didn't actually cry, but I did well up, and I was like, gosh. And I think I was trying to like focus on getting him to latch so that I could soothe him. But yeah, absolutely broke our hearts. But obviously it was the right decision. It was 100% tie. So yeah, hopefully in the long run that will help him. And breastfeeding has been, I say, easier since then. His latch, he's not been losing the latch or anything like that. When he had the tongue tie, we noticed he was making like a clicking sound. He was losing the latch. He was a lot more like fussy at the boob and things like that. So I don't know if maybe he was a bit more hungry, like when he had the tongue tie, because he wasn't effectively sucking. So he's been having longer feeds, and he's started throwing up since he's had the tongue tie. Not loads, but it's because obviously he's getting a lot more milk. A lot bigger like wet nappies and dirty nappies and things like that. So I think it's definitely helped with the feeding, and like with the latch as well. Like he's managing to maintain the latch, and it's not as painful when he's on as well. I think the thing to note is like breastfeeding generally feels quite painful anyway. I've not had a break at all, obviously, since I started feeding Max, and that was 19 months ago. So for 19 months I've been breastfeeding. Obviously during my pregnancy I said to you guys, you know, how painful it's actually been dry nursing Max, and then my colostrum came back, and it's just been horrendous. Like the pain has been horrendous, and it's still quite bad. And I've noticed that Max is kind of like grazing me with his teeth. He's not doing it on purpose, he's not biting me or anything like that, but he is grazing me with his teeth, which is quite painful. And obviously my letdown, I mean, even when my milk came in with Max, my letdown for my milk was very painful back then as well. And it is quite painful this time around as well. And obviously it's also quite hard trying to get into like any sort of, I say, normal routine for like how much milk my body should produce, because Max is kind of all over the place. Rocco's absolutely fine, he'll feed sort of every 2 hours, whereas Max is kind of like, sometimes he'll feed in the morning, sometimes he won't, sometimes he feeds in the afternoon if I put him down for a nap, sometimes he doesn't have a nap at all. So yeah, that's a bit all over the place still. I'm still using nipple cream, And I am pumping every now and then. I didn't really want to pump. I said this in my Instagram story as well. I didn't really want to pump. I kind of just wanted to breastfeed because I just found it easier with Max. We bought a Lancinol bottle. I think that's how you say it. Lancinol? Lanisol? I don't know. Can't remember. It was actually recommended, that bottle, and we was also recommended mam bottles. I actually got a mam dummy in my Emma Diaries pack. So he's got a mam dummy and he has the Lancinol. I can't remember how to say it. He's got that bottle. They were supposed to be like the most breastfeeding friendly bottles and dummies and things. So, but yeah, it does take off, like, I suppose, a little bit of pressure for me if I'm like really tired of a night time. It means Harry can get up and just give him some expressed breast milk. And the dummy he only really has if he's like really, really fussy and just needs a little bit to, I suppose, just to soothe him, just like when he's laying down in the next to me crib. So yeah, we actually did use Nook dummies and Nook bottles with Max, on and off. He had a dummy, I think, for the first 5 months, and then I slowly just took it away from him. He didn't really need it. But yeah, those early days we really needed a little extra something just to help settle him so that we could get some rest. So I don't know. I don't know how Rocco will be, if we'll get rid of the dummy earlier or later. He might be more obsessed with it than Max. But he is quite chilled otherwise. So but yeah, following the tongue tie appointment, they said that he'd be quite fussy for about 48 hours, a lot more clingy, a lot more attached, and wanting to feed loads, which has been the case because we are now day 12 and his tongue tie was on day 10. So he's still quite fussy. I don't know, obviously we have no idea if he's in pain or not, but yeah, he's been feeding quite frequently, and he's been quite unsettled. So, but he has also been sleeping for longer, and I don't know if that is down to how much more extra milk that he's having, because he's obviously effectively latching and suckling. So yeah, there's that as well. Literally yesterday we had so much washing so much washing to put away, and so yeah, I tried tackling some washing yesterday and like just putting the ironing away, and I'm still not done. I've still got more upstairs that needs to be put away. But yeah, I thought I'd show you the reality. I've got washing, obviously. This is all dry. This all needs to go upstairs. And then on the chair over there, I've got wet washing that needs to be hung. The state of the room as well, it's just all over the place. Our balloons are still going strong. My bloody birthday balloon is still going strong up there. But yeah, this is postpartum reality, I suppose, with a toddler. I'd say how I'm feeling physically. Yesterday was probably the day where I noticed the cramps had died down quite a lot, and today they've died down even more. Still got some cramping, but nowhere near as bad as what it has been. Obviously, this is probably the best day that we've had so far for that. And yeah, still got like a bit of a heavy feeling in the bottom of my tummy, kind of like I said before, where my uterus is. But yeah, I mean, no, nothing else really, no other like really bad symptoms. Obviously, my boobs are very, very painful. My nipples, should I say, are very painful. So there's that. But my bleeding has, I mean, the midwife called yesterday and she wanted to check in, but she said it's really, really normal. But my bleeding kind of like stops almost, where it's like nearly completely stopped, and you're like, oh, okay. And then kind of if I do too much, it will come back a little bit. Might be too much information. But yeah, she said it's really normal, and she said it's probably your body's way of telling you that you're doing too much and that you need to slow down, which I'm not very good at, if you know me. I mean, the bleeding is nowhere near as much as obviously what it was originally. So, and we are, what are we, day 12 today? Sunday, yeah, day 12. So not too bad. I feel like with Max, my bleeding stopped at probably about 2 weeks, so I don't think it will be that much longer. But my stitches still feel, I mean, obviously I have no idea if they've dissolved or not because I've not looked down there and I'm not going to. I was like this with Max as well, I was way too scared. But they still feel, like, obviously it still feels tender. Again, which the midwife said is very normal. Still early days, so yeah. Mentally, I would say that I feel okay. I have like really, really good happy moments. I think the thing that I'm struggling with at the moment is like how sad it makes me with Max. Yeah, I think the thing that I'm struggling with at the moment is the mum guilt. Obviously for Max, it's been really hard, like trying to, I suppose, split my time and divide my time and, yeah, do, I suppose, more focused activities just like with him or just like, yeah, spending time together. I do feel a little bit guilty now as well for Rocco. I suppose in terms of just like having a cuddle and like little things, like we've not really taken as like nowhere near as many photos as we did with Max, and it's not because we don't want to, it's just we don't have as much time to be sitting around and taking photos, and I suppose just like chilling out and stuff, just because we have a toddler, so we want to make sure that Max has got some attention as well. So I'm starting to feel a bit guilty about that. I'm trying to take photos as much and as often as I can. I obviously wish that I had been able to maybe record a little bit more, like in the first few days and things like that, just for my memories, not for even social media, just for my own memories. And I feel like I haven't got that much. So yeah, I feel a little bit more guilty in terms of like for Rocco now as well. But yeah, Max's behaviour, I'm really struggling with that at the moment. He's just testing the boundaries as much as he can, and me and Harry do feel guilty because we feel like we're then kind of just telling him off quite a lot or telling him not to do something quite a lot. And obviously everyone that I've spoken to has just been like, you know, it's so normal, which I know it's normal, like he's going to change, you know, it's massive change for him at home, and, you know, we've gone from me and Max having all day, every day together, and then obviously Harry with him on the weekends, to him having, I suppose, at least half of my time now, so it's a big adjustment for all of us. I'm finding it hard because I feel like I miss Max and the time that we have together, but I'm also finding it hard seeing how his behaviour is changing as well. So I'm just trying to be present and support him as much as I possibly can during this whole change. But he's started giving Rocco cuddles and kisses. I don't know if I've said this in the last time I filmed, but he's giving him cuddles, he's giving him kisses, he wants to hold him. So that's all really lovely. He started giving like his cars, like if Rocco's in like the baby swing, Max will go and like put all of his cars around his feet and stuff. So that's really lovely. So I don't think that the issue is actually with Rocco. I think it's just the issue for him is that my time is not with him, or Harry's time is not just with him, that we're splitting our time between him and Rocco. So yeah, I don't think Rocco is the actual issue for Max. And I know in time as well, like, this will all change and it'll be all normal again, but it just feels quite hard right now. So yeah. I think I'm going to leave the video there. I don't want it to be too long, and I'm sure that I've been rambling for absolutely ages. Kind of just wanted to remember those early days postpartum, being in the newborn bubble, and yeah, without, like I said, without taking, you know, too much of my attention like towards sort of YouTube or, you know, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and actually living in the moment. So that's why I've kind of not filmed every day or filmed what life is like every day, because I just want to be in the moment with the boys and with Harry. And it's been really nice to be really present, and obviously Max has needed us to be present as well, and I felt like that was the best decision. But equally I wanted to remember bits and bobs about, I suppose, my postpartum with Rocco. So that's why I thought I would just film, I suppose, more of a talking video, just telling you guys how each day has been for me personally. So we are adjusting, we are getting there, we will get there. Boys will get there. But yeah, it's a process. It's very different to my first postpartum with Max. So yeah, but we are getting there. Still very sleep deprived, but nowhere near as much as the first few days, so that's great. I'm sure I have missed probably loads and loads of little details that when I edit this, I'm going to be like, oh, you forgot about this and you forgot about that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I still can't believe Rocco is here. We are family 4. It's just absolutely wild. So grateful. I thank God for this so much. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you for the next one.